this, that. Wonderful. So let's come to our pillows, come to our mats. If you don't have any pillow you want to sit on, I just thought about it the other day, you can also just fold the blanket into a little square and sit on that blanket, just to give you an alternative if you don't have a pillow that you like or that you're comfortable on. So whatever you're sitting on, get comfortable, and then slowly slide down, bringing your knees down towards the mat. It's okay if your knees don't touch the mat. If you can, stagger your feet, but it's okay if you're crossing them. So just choose what's comfortable here for you. See if you can bring your hands to your knees and just check in with you for a moment. Do you feel like you need some grounding today? If you do, let your palms face down. If you feel a little bit heavy or just heavy on the soul, heavy on the heart, let those palms face up and give you that little lift me up. Then whatever you decide to be, gently close your eyes. Let your head and your upper body gently lean back, aligning your head over your heart over your pelvis. See if you can start coming back to your breathing, no matter how mellow or stressful your day was. See if you can take that following hour to yourself. You can fully align with your breath here. See if you can come to this 5-count inhale, 5-count exhale. Setting up this beautiful, strong foundation for our practice. See if you can let your shoulders relax. Gentle bend in your elbows. Letting yourself melt into your pillow, melt into the mat. And then while keeping your eyes closed, gently start drawing big circles with your upper body, going all the way to one side, to the front, to the other side, and to the back. Really making this as big of a circle as you can. You can align your breath with your movement using your inhale when you start going forward and your exhale when you start going back. It's okay if your knees or hips move around. Try to not be too rigid with yourselves here. And then start going the other way around. Maybe aligning with your breath again. If you have some soreness in one or both hips, see if you can direct some extra airflow, some extra attention into that hip. And then making your way back to center, back to stillness. We're gonna move into our alternate nostril breathing. I will just come up as a quick reminder for our hands. So your left hand is going to come into chin mudra, so your thumb and index finger come together. And then your left hand can come back onto your left knee. And your right hand is coming into chin mudra, into Vishnu mudra, sorry, this is chin mudra. So your ring and index finger come down to the root of the thumb. And then you can use your right knee to lift those little ones up. So it looks like this. And you can hold this hand underneath your nose, so the knuckles are underneath your nostrils. And then we'll use your right thumb for your right nostril and the little ones for your left nostril. We'll be inhaling for about 5, holding for about 18, and exhaling for about 8. I'll be doing the counting, you'll be doing the breathing, so it's more complicated than it sounds like. So get comfortable, bring that right hand to your face underneath your nose. Gently close your eyes. Bring your right thumb to your right nostril, and then start inhaling through your left nostril. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close both nostrils, hold your breath. And slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. Slowly exhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. Slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. And slowly exhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and return. Slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Last round, inhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. And slowly exhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Last retention. And slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Let that right hand come back down to your right knee. Release the mudra. Let your fingers relax, keeping your eyes closed. Just feel into your body here. Observing any shifts or changes, no matter how small. And then gently blink open your eyes. Remove your pillow out to the side and make your way onto all fours. Bringing your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Really pushing the tops of your feet into the mat, pushing the shins into the ground. Eye of the elbow is facing forward, fingers are pushing down. Belly button is moving inward, so you're having that really strong core engagement. Gaze goes straight down to the mat. The crown of your head is reaching forward. And then while keeping those points of engagement, especially with your feet pushing down and the eyes of the elbow forward, with your inhale, let your belly drop down, let your gaze go up, coming into cow pose. Exhale, round your back, moving into cat. And then keep using your breath to move between the two, using your inhale for cow, your exhale for cat. Invitation to close your eyes here. And then using the next few breaths for any kind of intuitive movement, maybe some rolls from side to side or rolling back and forth. Just play with your body here, play with the movement, be playful, be silly. You can maintain those eyes closed if it makes you feel safer. It makes it feel like you're less in your head and more in your body. And then coming back to stillness, finishing up your movement here. Extend your right leg out to the back, keeping that right foot on the mat. And just that rocking that right heel back. You can also start rocking back and forth if that feels like a more of a stretch. Just try out which one gives you more. And slowly lift that right leg and guide it all the way over towards the right. Putting your right foot down. So your right foot and your left knee are parallel to each other. So it's looking like that. And then keeping those hands underneath your shoulders. With your inhale, lift your left arm up high towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Bringing your left arm, your left shoulder, your left temple down towards the mat. Maybe your left fingers are grabbing your right toes. Doesn't have to happen. Make sure you're still breathing. You can walk your right hand out in front of you like a little kickstand. If your right hand is walked out, walk it back in, pushing into that right hand. Use your exhale to bring that left hand all the way back up, letting your gaze follow. And then bring that left hand back down, pushing into both hands, pushing into that left foot. Lift that right leg up high, flexing your right foot. So you can feel that lift in your right outer hip. And then slowly guide your right leg all the way back and then over to the left, to the outside of the left side of the mat. Let your gaze go over your left shoulder towards that right foot. Feeling a gentle stretch in your right hip and your right side. And then gently lift that leg up again, guide it all the way back. And then bring that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Let's stay here, keeping that left hand on the ground. Lift your right arm up high towards the sky. Coming into this little easy twist with your back leg down. Maybe letting your gaze go up. Exhale, bring that right hand back down. Step your right foot back, coming back into your tabletop. And then step your left foot to the back, keeping your left foot on the mat. And just start rocking back with your left heel, or maybe rocking back and forth. Making sure that left hip stays nice and level to the ground. And then slowly lift that left leg up high, guide it all the way out to the left, and bring that left foot down, aligning your left foot and your right knee parallel to each other. Pushing into your left hand, and with your inhale, lift your right arm up high towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Bringing your right arm and shoulder and temple down to the ground, reaching with those fingers towards your left toes. Maybe walking your left arm out in front of you. Make sure that right top of the foot is still pushing down. Then if your left arm is walked out, slowly walk it back in, pushing it into the ground. Use your exhale to bring that right arm all the way back up. Inhale, bring it back down. Lift that left leg up high, flex your foot, and then slowly guide it first all the way back, and then over to the outside of your right foot. Crossing it over. Letting your gaze go over your right shoulder towards that left foot. Feeling a nice stretch in your left side. Just a little one, doesn't have to be intense. And slowly lift the left foot back up, guide it all the way to the back, and then to the outside of your left hand. We have a nice narrow stance here, that's on purpose. Keep that right hand on the mat. Lift your left arm up high towards the sky. Little easy twist here. Maybe your gaze follows your left hand. And then bring that left hand back down. Step your left foot back. And then come down onto your forearms. Walk your fingers all the way to the front so they are touching the front of the mat. And then slide your feet out to the back so your toes are touching the back of the mat. Just using your big toes to feel out that spot. And then gently start pushing your hips back so your hips are over your knees. Shoulders are nice and wide. And then just gently start melting your chest down towards the mat. You can bring your chin down to the mat or your forehead. It's okay to bring your forehead down. It really doesn't have to be the chin. Coming down on your chin applies a lot of pressure on the neck. Coming onto your forehead is just as good. Make sure the tops of the feet are still pushing down. We're gonna stay here a little bit longer than is comfortable. So see if you can find comfort even in those uncomfortable poses. Or maybe this isn't even super uncomfortable. Maybe it's just not really entertaining, not really fun, pushing you into weird little angles. See if you can embrace that. And then slowly lift your head, pushing into your forearms. Let your belly and whole body come down, moving into a swings pose. You can adjust if your elbows are not aligned underneath your shoulders. See if you can let those shoulders push back and down. Forearms are parallel. I always like imagining there's a block in between my hands and I'm holding that L position with my thumb and index finger. Exhale, come back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck those toes under. And then either by coming through tabletop or taking the challenge and moving through your high plank. And then into your down dog. First down dog for tonight. So no matter if it's your first one today or just your first one tonight, see if you can move into it as if it is the first time. Bringing it in that beginner's mind. Feel into all the little sensations. See how your body is feeling. Maybe some movement feels good. Maybe some stillness feels better. Play with it and see where you want to take this today. I'm going to be here for 5 more breaths, so you have enough time to explore the pose. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then taking teeny tiny steps, walk your feet all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. And all the way down to your sides. Moving into Tadasana. Palms are facing forward. See if those big toes can be touching. You can gently squeeze your thighs together as if you have a thin piece of paper in between. You're trying to keep it where it is. Relaxing your shoulders down. Really open your heart. Widening those collarbones. Widening your heart space. Really empowering pose. Closing your eyes here. Deep inhales. Complete exhales. And gently blink open your eyes. We're going to move into a little balancing sequence. Bringing your hands together, so your palms are together in prayer pose, lifting those elbows up as high as your wrists, so you're in this active prayer pose. Transition all of your weight into your left foot, and then slowly start lifting your right leg up, keeping that 90-degree bend, flexing your foot so your toes are pointing up towards the sky. See if you can lift that leg up as high as you can, so your knee is reaching up towards the sky. Check in onto that left foot. Make sure all four corners of the left foot are pushing down. If you fall out of it, just gently make your way back into it. It's the best way to learn. And then from here, we will slowly transition into a tree pose. You can bring your foot into the inside of your thigh. You can bring it right above your ankle, or maybe stay down here with a little kickstand. So wherever you decide to be today, just be there fully. Once you have that balance, bring your hands back to heart center. And then maybe bring your arms over your head, keeping your palms together, squeezing your head with your upper arms. You're reaching up high like that arrow. You might feel a little stretch in your sides, or just a little lengthening. And be here for 4 more breaths. And then slowly bring those hands back to heart center if they are over your head. And then without putting that foot down, see if you can guide that right foot all the way back, making your way into an airplane pose. Making sure that right hip stays level to the ground so you're not opening it up to the side. Lifting that right foot up as high as you can. And maybe letting your sternum lift up so it's facing the wall in front of you. Maybe even letting your gaze go up to the screen looking at me. This is really shaky. 4 more breaths here. And then with your inhale, bring that right foot all the way to meet your left foot. Resist the urge to move and just move straight into stillness here. Closing your eyes if they're not already. And then gently blink open your eyes. We'll do the other side, transitioning all of your weight onto your right foot. Palms are together, elbows are lifted high, and then start lifting your left leg. Flexing your left foot so your toes are pointing up towards the sky. You're lifting that left knee up as high as you can. Check in onto your bottom foot, so your right foot. Make sure all 4 corners are pushing down. And then slowly start moving into your tree pose from here. Any variation that works for you. Playing with it. This side might feel different than the other. And once you're there, bringing your hands to heart center, finding that balance point. And then from here, maybe guiding your arms over your head, keeping your palms together, squeezing that head with your upper arms. You're really shooting up high. 4 more breaths here. And then if your hands are over your head, slowly bring them down to heart center. And then without letting that left foot come down, just guide it all the way back into your airplane pose. Making sure that left hip stays level to the ground. Lifting that left leg as high as you can. Maybe letting your sternum point to the front, letting your gaze go to the front as well. Looking at me and smiling. And this side is always a little bit more difficult for me, so it's all good if you fall out and lose your balance here. Balance is different every day, so just embrace where your body is at today. One more breaths here. And then with your inhale, bring that left foot all the way back to meet your right foot. Move back into stillness. Maybe closing your eyes here for a moment. If your eyes are closed, gently blink open your eyes. Big toes are touching. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Bring your right knee down. Release those back toes. Make sure your left knee is right above your left ankle. And then slowly start rolling up that upper body. Your arms come up last. Letting your palms face inwards, so your pinky fingers are pointing forward. Shoulders are nice and wide. And then see if you can really start pushing both thighs inwards towards the midline, so you have that scissor movement, that scissor feeling. It should feel like your left hip is pushing back and your right hip is slightly pushing forward. Exhale, bring both hands back down. Start straightening your left leg. Push your hips back. Your left toes can lift up so you can be on your left heel only. And then see if you can let yourself melt over that left leg. This pose is pretty difficult for most of us. So just be patient with yourselves here. And then slowly bend your left knee again. Sink deeply with your right hip, feeling that big, big stretch. And then keeping your left foot framed, gently push your hips back, lift your right hand, bend your right knee. See if you can hold on to that back foot. It's okay if it's not gonna happen today. If you are holding onto that back foot, see if you can let your hips sink back down. Lifting your shoulders and upper body up slightly. So your right foot is reaching towards your right hand is reaching towards your right foot. Hips are dropping down towards the mat. Again, it's okay if that doesn't happen for you today. If you're holding onto that back foot, slowly bring your right hand back to the ground. Bring that right foot back down. Plank your back leg. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into a high plank. Remember, in your high plank, you'll want your butt right in the middle, not up here, not sagging down this way, right in the middle. Exhale back to your down dog. Step your right foot in between your hands. Bring your left knee down. Release those back toes. Right knee is over your right ankle this time. And then slowly start rolling up your upper body. Arms come up last. Palms are facing inwards. Pinkies are facing forward. Again, get that scissor movement that you're looking for. You're really squeezing both thighs to the midline. Exhale, bring both hands down. Start straightening your right leg, pushing your hips back, moving into your half Hanuman or your half split. Those right toes are lifting up, so you only have your right heel on the ground. You can gently bend your elbows to help you come down further. And really just let your upper body melt towards that right leg. Head is hanging down softly. With your next inhale, slowly bend your right knee. Let those hips sink down towards the mat, feeling that delicious stretch in your hips. And then keeping your right hand on the outside of the right foot, start bending your left leg, push your hips back, bring that left hand towards that left foot, maybe holding onto it, maybe not. It's okay if your right hand comes on your fingertips, so you're just adjusting here to get to the pose. And then if you're holding onto that foot, start bending deeper into your right knee and let those hips drop down again, lifting up your upper body so your sternum is facing the front of you. I'm on my right fingertip, so you don't have to have your palm all the way down. This is a pretty intense stretch, so just be wherever you're at. Should feel intense in all the best ways. And slowly push your hips back again. Let go of that back foot. Bring your left foot down, plank your back leg. Step your right foot to the back of the mat, coming back into your high plank. Keeping that core engaged here, maybe rocking slightly forward. You can always bring your knees down into a supported plank. And then with your next exhale, slowly lower your whole body down, going as slow as possible. It's okay to bring your knees down first. With your inhale, moving into a baby cobra, or maybe up higher if you feel good. Tops of the feet are pushing down into the ground. Shoulders are pushing back and down. Exhale, come back down. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Hands are resting on your butt. Tops of the feet are pushing down into the mat. And then just start lifting your upper body up with your exhale. Pushing that lower belly into the mat to help you lift up higher. Tops of the feet are pushing into the mat. Then maybe lifting your hands up high as well. Really feeling those shoulder blades squeezing. Almost like you're trying to crack a walnut in between them. Make sure you're not holding your breath here. Exhale, come back down. Make a pillow with your hands. Let your forehead or your cheek rest on your hands. Take a moment to catch your breath. And then slowly lift your head up again. Interlace your hands behind your back one more time. Let them rest on your butt. And then with your exhale, start lifting that upper body up high. Lower belly is pushing into the mat. And then option 1 is to just stay here. Option 2 is to bend your knees and then grab your ankles with your hands and move into a little bow by pushing those feet into your hands. So you're lifting those shoulders up high. You're lifting your legs, you're lifting your whole upper body, and you're pretty much rocking on your pubic bone. This might feel really uncomfortable, and it might take some getting used to and doing it over and over again for it to become comfortable. And that's okay. You also don't have to come all the way up where you're on your pubic bone. You can stay a little bit lower. Making sure those knees are not spreading out completely, but staying in slightly. Then maybe if you didn't eat anything before practice, start rocking back and forth, massaging those inner organs. It's a really fun one to do unless you have a full stomach, and it might make you feel pretty uncomfortable. And coming back to stillness here. And then come all the way back down. Make a pillow with your hands, letting your forehead rest. Or if you're resting on your cheek, make sure you're resting the other cheek this time. And slowly lift your head back up. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. And again, either moving through tabletop, or taking the challenge, pushing yourself up into your high plank, and then back to your down dog. Push your left heel into the ground. Step your right foot in between your hands. Left foot comes down at an angle. And with your inhale, make your way up into your warrior one. Your back foot is down at about 45 degrees. Left foot pointing towards the left side at an angle. Sinking deeper into your right knee. Make sure both of your hips, especially your left one, are facing forward. Arms are over your head, but if that is too much, you can always bring them down to heart center. And then if your hands are over your head, slowly bring them to heart center. Straighten your front leg, pushing your hips back. With your exhale, start folding forward. When you get to the point where your upper body is parallel to the ground, pause here. Extend your arms out into a T, palms are facing down. Exhale, come all the way down into your pyramid pose. You can keep your hands on the ground and bring them to heart center, or any other variation that you would like to take here. Make sure your left hip is slightly pushing forward. It will really make a difference when it comes to how the ligaments on the inside of that right leg feel. They're getting a really nice stretch right now. If your hands are on the ground, you can bend them to help you come down deeper. And then slowly bend your right knee, lift your left heel. And then from here, we'll make our way into a standing split. You can get there by either rocking back and forth or just lifting that back leg up. Right leg is your standing leg. Make sure that left hip is level to the ground. So you don't want it to open up this way as if you're going into half moon. You're in this nice parallel to the ground position. And I know that means you most likely won't be able to lift as much. And that's okay. You will get there and you will get stronger and be able to lift it higher with time. It takes work. If you want to challenge yourself, you can bring one or both hands to your ankle. That's just options. You're mainly focusing on letting that belly and chest move towards that standing leg. Lots of stuff happening in this pose. And then make sure both hands are back on the ground. Gently bend your right knee. I'm going to bring that left foot back to the back of the mat. Pushing both hands into the ground. Step your right foot to the back, moving into your down dog. Pushing your right heel down. Step your left foot in between your hands. Right foot comes down at an angle about 45 degrees towards the side of the mat. And then slowly start rolling your upper body all the way up into your warrior one. Again, remember your arms can be over your head, but it's also okay if they are at heart center. Both hips are facing forward. Start sinking deep into your left knee. Checking in onto your back foot, making sure you're not losing integrity of it. It's planted and rooted deeply into the ground. If your hands are over your head, slowly bring them down to heart center. Straighten your front leg. And then with your exhale, start folding over. When you get to that midpoint where you're parallel to the ground, pause here. Extend your arms out into a T. Palms are facing down. Remember, you're pausing your movement. You're not pausing your breath here. Exhale, come all the way down, bringing your hands down to frame your left foot, or maybe bringing your hands back to heart center into your pyramid pose. Again, whichever variation is your favorite. Make sure that right hip is pushing forward, so you feel that stretch on the inside of your left leg. Stretching those ligaments nicely, making sure they're moisturized. Maybe bending your elbows to bring yourself down deeper if your hands are on the ground. And then slowly start bending your left knee, lift your right heel, and then from here, make your way into your standing split the way that works for you. Making sure that right hip stays level to the ground. Upper body and belly are melting towards your left leg, your standing leg. You can again use your hands to bend your elbows to pull yourself down deeper. Or you can play with it and make it more challenging by bringing one or both hands towards your left ankle. And most importantly, check in with your breath here. Maybe you still have that 5 count inhale, 5 count exhale. And then bring your hands back to the ground if they are on your foot, your ankle. Bend your left knee And then bring that right foot back to the back of the mat. Step your left foot to the back. And then bring both knees down to the ground. Tuck your toes under. And just for a moment, sit down on your heels. Reach your arms over your head. We're going to do our wrist strengthener because we know without it, practice isn't complete. So when you're ready, just start bringing those fingers to the fleshy part of your palms, making this clapping sound as if you're clapping for yourselves here. As usual, I can't hear you, but I'm trusting that you're clapping loud, loud, loud. See if you can speed it up a little bit. And then let's speed it up one more time. Perfect. Let's rain those fingers down. And then let's sit down on the mat. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Keep that right foot up. And then bring that right foot to the outside of your left leg. Make sure you're sitting on that left sitting bone, so moving your butt flesh out to the side. You can stay here and move into your little twist. Or if you want to come to the full expression, you can bend that bottom leg as well. If you're bending your bottom leg as well, make sure you're not sitting on that heel, but both butts and both butt cheeks are grounding into the mat. Then wherever you are, bring that left arm around your right leg like you're hugging it. Start twisting your upper body to the right. And then walk your right hand all the way behind you. You can even walk it all the way across and bring it to your left leg or your left thigh. If there's any other variation you like to take here, you can do that. And slowly release. Extend both legs back out. Shake it out for a moment. And then keep the right leg out. Bring your left leg in. Bring it over to the outside of your right foot. Choose where you want to be. That bottom leg straight out. Or bent as well. Make sure you're sitting on both sitting bones. You're not sitting on that right heel. And then wrap your right arm around your left leg as if you're hugging it in tightly. And use this to really rotate your upper body to the left. Bring your left hand behind you on the ground. Let your gaze go over your head towards the left. You can even take your left hand all the way across. Bring it to your right hip or your right thigh or even your inner thigh. And then slowly release. Extend both legs out long. Make your way onto your back, rolling down nice and slow. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Hug it in tightly. Extend your right arm out to the right. And then bring that right knee all the way over to the left. Using your left hand to guide it over. Coming into this nice reclined spinal twist. Your gaze can go up towards the sky or over towards your right hand. Making sure that right shoulder stays glued to the ground. Invitation to close your eyes here. You could even keep your eyes closed while we move through this and move into Shavasana. And slowly bring your leg back into your chest. Hug it in one more time. And bring your left leg in. Extend your right leg out. Hug that left leg in tightly. Extend your left arm out to the left. And then guide that left leg all the way over with your right hand. Gaze goes up or over to the left. Check in on that left shoulder. And then slowly bring that left leg back in. Hug both legs in for a big hug. And then extend your left leg. Extend your right leg. Bring your arms out on your sides. Palms are facing up. Moving into our most important, most precious pose. Moving into Shavasana. Letting go of that physical practice. Absorbing the benefits of the asanas. This is why this last pose is so important. It helps us to absorb all the benefits of the physical practice. We need to become still and really just be in the moment after moving through those poses and moving through the asanas. And slowly start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Let the movement spread to your arms and your legs. Bring your legs together, bring your arms over your head on the ground, giving yourself a big, big stretch like you just woke up from a delicious nap. And then slowly bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself the most loving hug you can come up with. And then let go of your knees and slowly roll onto your right side. Letting your head rest on your right hand or your right arm. And your left hand is just there to support you. And from here, slowly make your way back into a seated position. Going gently on your body, gently on your mind. Bringing your hands back to heart center. The thumbs are on your chest, maybe skin on skin, maybe through your shirt. Feeling the warmth of your body, feeling your heartbeat. And then gently bow down, letting your forehead come towards your fingertips. Feeling that back of the neck nice and long. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be kind. Namaste. Thanks for joining, you guys.